Hello there, currently we are looking at NattyNatt playing Sylas Jungle. Now note that he does actually run very generic runes, so it's just Conqueror, Legend Haste, very generic magical footwear, triple tonic, double adaptive force, early game HP, apparently didn't go scaling HP. Now his E will be up regardless for this red, so he is red starting, and what's interesting about this red start is that this way, he can also really nicely hover this bush, just because he got spotted by Anivia. So just for some, random reason, if they're trying to cheese, he can actually hover in the bush just to observe that they are sort of trying to cheese him. And so the reason why he does actually prefer to red start here over raptor start is that you will have more AoE damage at level 2 for raptors compared to level 1, if it makes sense. But in my opinion, he should ban also just sit in this bush. Like when he's doing red, he should ban just sit in this bush kite like this instead, not upwards. Because then you can also see, you can also have vision over Kindred actually. Just in case they're trying to go for some psycho level 1 move. Just because he did get actually spotted by Anivia. Because he will anyways will have to eat through the wall and get into the crack pit, so in my opinion kiting that way would be a bit better. Really clean last hits also. Observe how he's also last hitting everything, how he's timing his abilities in general. That will really help you a lot to learn. He's using his Q super well, and as much as possible you wanna hit the big one and just with the rest of the small raptors with your passive. And as far as you notice, as I said, you have just way more AoE damage, so you can spare a bit more HP as well on these camps. And the cool thing is that red also gives you some regen, because this champion doesn't really have any healing in his kits actually. At the time, by the way, his W did heal off monster camps, but they did remove it. That's a bit of a bummer, but that's how it works. And look, he's also already basic attacking, and in his E animation he gets another basic off. So that way you can also maximize out his clear speed, so that's what you got to ideally do. He's hovering downward just in case Kindred is looking for an invade, so he doesn't want to lose vision. But for now, he does actually last hit blue, and he's in a fairly safe spot. Even Renata is a little bit here to help around. Really nice from her part, because she doesn't really lose out anything in particular for this. And for now, he does just finish his Grom. So he already got the clear itself. And so what's gonna happen? He has his E up, he has all of his abilities up. And it does seem like this Scuttle Scrap is also marked by Kindred. This is random which Scuttle Scrap gets marked. But in my opinion, he shouldn't actually overcommit for Scuttle. What he should then do, he should also just turn on this Kindred actually, which would be way better. Because observe what will happen here. Sylas is really strong at all-inning, by the way. Kindred fortunately does die anyways here, but I assume they could look perhaps for more if he killed this Kindred, but that's totally fine. And he gonna just double scuttle on this guy. They're trying to force a mid gang, but that's not really possible, which is totally fine. So he's maxing his W, by the way. We're gonna skip forward a little bit, so he does take his Scuttle Scrap, and sadly there are no opportunities to gank on top lane just because it's a Jax and he does have his E up. It does seem like he used his E though. This may give us some opportunity to gank, but I think he doesn't really take any chances, because this Jax, even if he doesn't ward from himself, he could just ward and jump it with his Q, so he could disengage even that way. So even if a Jax doesn't wards against you, if he has a ward up to disengage, that could also suck. So that's why he doesn't actually prefer to visit the top lane, and mid also again just wasn't gankable. Mid lane was under tower with egg up, so that's not even killable. So it doesn't really have any particular gank opportunities, and that's why he does actually default to clearing. Obviously you shouldn't perma full clear into full clear, but if you don't have other consistent opportunities to get the gank off, then yes, you don't really want to gank top lane just because Jax is full HP. Yes, his Q may be warded. If he holds his ward for himself, that also gives him a disengage, so it would be just waste of time actually, right? Now, what's really interesting to point out is that for now he got 3 points in his W, he's completely maxing it. Generic Proto Belt Rush, Hextech Alternator plus Dark Seal. We're gonna skip it in a bit forward, so He's clearing this camp out, and he's also like scanning sort of the lanes actually on like what kind of opportunities he can actually like get off. But for now it does seem like he can just default to like CSing, and then he's looking for some opportunities, perhaps past level 6. Now some of these R's don't particularly help him to engage, that's one of the problems. But perhaps past level 6 he can look for more. So she does Oracle the area for him, and I think they will look for some opportunities. They will use Twitch as a bait, as a kindred here, and she's getting one shot at, isn't she? Not quite. So Twitch cannot step up due to the enemy Unara. Very interesting. So next step. So what's our next step? So it seems like he still covers the bot side area just in case like Kindred does regank by chance, or they step up. Because for now the Scatter Scrub is not up, neither his top side camps if you notice. So his top side camps are not up. So he could recall, but he can also just spend some of his time, genuinely can spend some of his time just to secure the Scuttle Scrub, just to sit around, and he will be able to get his 6 even this way. Now his red, his Krugs are up soon, and he's just looking to secure them now. So it did take some of his time. It's true he could rotate a bit faster to his red, but full clearing into full clear is not the most consistent idea, just because he's also like checking if Kindred is flipping this by chance, but she's not. But the idea is that just perma full clearing and perma full clear will not actually make you like a threatening jungle. Like sometimes, yes, you're gonna lose some clear speed, but you could hover around just in case they commit, because Twitch was fairly low, so it could be used as a fairly good bait actually. But it does seem like there were no opportunities to gank bot lane properly. Stealing Jaxar is actually pretty strong on Sylas. Actually, this R actually scales with AP. It's kind of interesting, both the activatable and the passive itself, right? And that gives him like a really nice DPS actually. Really nice dueling power as well, in case he has to like 1v on someone. But most of these ultimates are kind of just utility actually. They're kind of supportive if you guys noticed. But the good thing is some ultimates have low cooldown like Anivia's, so it can be stolen more often. Although sometimes it's a bit difficult to use it in a practical way, but you can definitely cut off the escape of people. So once you have blue buff, then it becomes a bit more useful, I would say, Anivia's are. Otherwise it just like kinda like drains too much of your mana. For now we do secure this Drake, and so what's the reason he can secure it? So it does seem like they don't have mid priority at all. We have bot shoved in as well. So and we have a Shannon notably, so very easily we can take this Drake and start stacking these Drakes. You also gotta like come up with the reason on like why do you wanna do Drake. So this way it's gonna be a bit more consistent if you think about it. So far so good. And wow, this is marked again. Alright. This Scuttle Scrub is never gonna get taken by the enemy Kindred actually. How many stacks does his Kindred have? Let me just see. I think she didn't took any. 0. Wow, that's crazy. So if you do actually respect Kindred, it does seem like she can't really get that many stacks. So being stuck on like 500 basic range kinda sucks for a while. That's well played. So look at this angle actually, he does Oracle and he does skip the ward, right? He did actually deactivate the vision. He noticed that this Jax is committing, right? And that even though it's warded, he will not support the ward obviously. He will just commit because Jax gave up his E, And Jax can get eaten by Shen here, right? So he's just really looking to all in. Even if Soraka already wasn't, sadly enough. Does he go Glutinous Greaves? I don't think so. He's gonna go for the new boots, but we'll see. Not really. Anger builds. Oh, if that would hit, that would be great. Does flash quite nicely. So I think we actually do pick. This Kindred is, by the way, pretty much homeless. I think Kindred pressed hard just to heal them, actually. What the? Wow, this Kindred is actually completely out of the junk. And Jax arrives just to get killed as well. That's crazy. His magical footwear is, by the way, completely up. Holy shit. 5 Dark Kill stacks already. Maybe Glutinous Greaves would be interesting on Sylas, actually. The new Omnivan boots. He actually went Ionia. He's almost finished his, notably his jungle item as well. That's really interesting, but isn't this a bit deep? Oh, he did actually think about Renata's. That, no way. That's actually insanely wild. That's why he's the rank 1 jungle, by the way. So I was like thinking like this might be a bit forced, but it did seem like it did work out. It did seem like that did work out quite nicely, and the bounty wasn't even that big, Now, if Kindred would be picked up, that would be like a nice bonus, but he didn't quite manage to do that. It was a bit difficult to like sort of get this kill up, but I checked the play out again, so it does actually res. But his E was like really difficult to hit right through the minions, I think like, yeah, I think like you shouldn't really like E in here, because in between so many minions it's really difficult to connect your E. So that's just simply not gonna hit. But I could see the vision, it's just in between so many minions you can't reliably hit it, I could see the vision though. That's fine. So his next item, let's check it out. Seems like he's actually going Fiendish Codex for Symptom. Does he go Cosmic Drive, or the item is kinda dead actually. I'm not sure if that's gonna be Cosmic Drive, but we'll see. What's up? Picking up a free kill after the fight. Nothing special about this. Just Jax was basically greeting for the wave. That's what you gotta observe if they go for the wave, and that's what you can kinda like punish. So back here, you see, you can see like what exactly. So they go for a fight, and Shen unfortunately dies, right? But just based on like his, based on this situation, you can already tell where should I kite towards, right? So should I kite towards red, or should I kite towards the top lane? And it does seem like Jax does show up, so it's like a very easy decision to take that he will greet for the wave, just because he can take it down in no time. It's a non-cannon wave, so he can shoot through it very quickly as Jax, and that's why he does like kinda like greet on it. He also gets his like level, he also gets his level 11 from it, which would be a pretty good level for him. Just punish these greedy laners. Okay, Jax is already stolen. Nice R? No way. And look at the damage. Like, this does so much DPS, these checks are. It does so much DPS, actually, it's unreal. One of the best dueling ores, if it's not the best dueling ore. It might be the best dueling ore. I mean, there is Randall's ore as well, right? But it's hard to tell which one is actually better, you know, because both of them are really, really strong. And this Kindred is again not getting the stack. So how many stacks does this guy have anyways? Let me see. So let's go to the blue side. 0. Not a single stack. Not a single stack. He just recast with so much aura here as well. He just dies to the burn. So the next item will be Riftmaker. Okay, that's like that's sometimes I do see this item. It's kind of interesting, right? So Riftmaker combined with Gluttonous Greaves would be kind of interesting as well, because both of them kind of like give a Omnibam 20 in total. So that could be kind of interesting on the Sylas. Does seem like there's just a really nice intercept. Does seem like it's a really nice way of like finishing them off. So at this point, what do we do? It's plain and simple. We just get this Herald. There aren't really like better options on the map. Even like pushing the towers wouldn't be more practical, just because like Herald kind of does it for you, if it makes sense. So at this point, he does actually get his recall off. Does he go mid? No, he just goes Seekers. Wow, that's pretty. That's really strong, by the way, on Sylas Seekers. Really annoying for Kindred, really annoying for the enemy team. Just to like, he goes in stasis, then he has his abilities up again. Like, that's really annoying. Really, really annoying to deal with. It's a nice round. And they are forced out of this bot lane. And now he actually just gets to collapse on them because they don't have a safe spot, so they are getting caught in between these two towers. That's the point of using that Herald. Now what do we do here? Anivia's wall did expire, so Yasok knocks it into the... But he commits here. That looks interesting. He does have Kindred Hour, so he might be able to like get a kill and hour and get out, but we'll see. Kindred blesses the ground, apparently. That's what she does. He doesn't even need the healing, he just like moves on. I think he intentionally did use that or just to like get his R off, because he doesn't feel like that R will be super useful for the very next fight, so I think he will just aim to like actually just get a better one. Just wanted to discharge it. Zanye acquired another book, and oh boy, we are fed as fuck. I wonder if this item is good on Sylas Dusk and Dawn, because now it does heal, and it procs your passive, I think twice, I assume, if it's like a non-hit. It's like more of a non-attack, it says like attack, It's like Leechbane also could be kinda good. Just look at the damage numbers, by the way. 461, 226, 433, 507. So like his damage numbers are really high actually. Not to mention his passive, which is like also like obnoxiously high. So champion just like packs up so much damage just in his base kit, right? Not to mention if he gets a good engager like a, you know, Malphite or whatnot, you'll be able to do so much. I mean, he took Aniviazar actually. I think in here he did actually misplay. Or? It does seem like it wasn't a misplay. It does seem like it's just nothing. Just giga baiting the enemy team, huh? Teams a bit forward. From this point on, it's like really straightforward what they do. So they just basically get the objective, then assumingly there will be like one more fight, if anything, then at that point this game is just kind of like over actually. At this point it's kind of like over. Yep, they have GG, well played. And if you guys want to see more educational content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like the video if you liked it. This will really just help me with like further videos. It really does support me.